Good morning and welcome to another frosty day in Colorado. It's currently 15 degrees. We're supposed to get up to 50 degrees. Wind ain't supposed to be too bad, and I got plating to get on, so I'm getting plating on. Excuse the glasses. I ruined my good day glasses with weld splatter and grinding such. So I had to go get new glasses. While I was at it, I got some prescription safety glasses. So that's what I'll be wearing out on the job site from now on, as fashionable as they are. So after last video, one of my YouTube subscribers, Pacific Challenger, mentioned that on the West Coast, what they do is they plate the entire hull except the bottom. That way they can sandblast the interior. All the sand falls out the bottom, and they don't have to shovel it up and clean it out. Then they add the bottom plate, and they only have to sandblast the bottom plate. Now, I read, my Bible for building a steel boat is a book called Steel Boat Building by Thomas Colvin, volumes 1 and 2. And this old guy built boats, big boats, by himself or with one helper back in the 70s with very little gear. So it's a great book to read how a professional does it with little to no gear. Well, not no gear, but little gear. Anyways, I reread the chapter on plating the hull, and he did it the old way where you do the bottom, the top sides, the decks, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that he's wrong, but nobody is the end-all, know-all on this kind of stuff. And I love the idea of not having to shovel a bunch of sand out of the boat just so I could sandblast the bottom as well. So instead of continuing with the bottom plating like I've been doing, I'm going to switch and I'm going to start plating the top sides. That's my goal. I got some plates to do it, so off we go. Let's build a boat.
I came up with a different method of putting on the top side plates than I did the bottom plate. I was scratching my head for a little bit trying to figure out how I was going to pull it off. What I came up with was just to lift a plate up into place and then pull it tight to the hull using fairly light ratchet straps. I figured that if I needed cable come-alongs to pull the plate into place, then something probably wasn't right. So I used fairly light ratchet straps to pull it up tight to the hull and set it. Now you'll probably notice that this is only a partial plate. I did this on purpose so that none of the seams from the top sides, the bottom, or the trunks line up. I want to stagger all seams so that I don't have any weak spots where they're all welded together. I use several of the ratchet straps, one on each corner to bring in the corners of the plate. Then I would put some from the top down so I could love butt seam that would be vertical on the top sides. I figured that would help out as I stack more plates down the length of the hull. So I ended up with, 7 ratchet straps. On this plate I was able to get to 3 of the edges of the plate, but in that bottom aft corner I had to weld on a little piece of metal that I could clamp to and pull in that corner. Then I had another ratchet strap that I would run fore and aft so that I could get the fore and aft lined up just right. It took quite a bit of fiddling around, going back and forth, loosening this one, tightening that one, adjusting here and adjusting there until I was comfortable with where the plate was and felt that it was proper for me to mark and cut. But I wanted to get this first plate just right so that it set me up for the rest of the hull as far as welding on the next plates. Once I got it pretty much aligned, vertical, and in the correct place fore and aft, I started tightening all the ratchet straps to pull the plate perfectly tight to the hull so that I could mark it and then cut it out. Using a soapstone, I just ran along the transom that was overlaying and the chine bar with the soapstone so that I could get it cut. I didn't worry about the shear line yet. Wanted to get several of the plates in place before I cut the shear line. That way I could throw a batten across it, get a good curve, and use it to cut it instead of trying to do it piece by piece. Then release all the ratchet straps so that I could lower it down and get it cut. I should note here that during this entire time, the entry crane and hoist is connected to the top of the plate. So all the weight really is being held by that. Once cut, it was just a matter of raising it back up into place, reconnecting some of the ratchet straps to it to pull it back to shape, and start tacking it in. Later, looking at this, I decided that I put too many tack welds in. I'm just trying to tack weld the plates in place temporarily until all the plates are in, and then I can finish welding it. In this case, or in this plate, I put in 2 tacks. Once done, stand back, admire your work, and do the next one.